Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Parents Engaging Parents Beloved Community Check-In. My name is Erica Beverett, and I'm here checking in from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Parents Engaging Parents' mission is to promote civic awareness and proactive community action based on the interest of parents and community leaders. Very excited for today. We're going to be talking with Ashley from the Community Food Bank of New Jersey, Senior SNAP Ed Nutritionist, who's going to be talking to us about shopping in the farmers market. So let's see what's going on out there in Facebook world. How's everybody doing out there? It's starting to cool down. We're getting ready for the winter season that's coming. I guess people are loving their fall. I've got to engage a couple of parents earlier today, and they were so excited about their fall fashion and boots and all that good stuff. So I know that, of course, I guess that kind of ties in with the farmers market, right? Because we get to participate in some of those hay rides. I know that a lot of kids do those things with their families. Sometimes they get the opportunity to do that with their schools. So hopefully your school is one of them. And if not, y'all better get cracking and get them babies on those hay rides and let them experience outside. Hey, Gabby, how are you? What's going on with you today? So I am going to go ahead and bring on Ashley. She's going to be sharing with us shopping at the farmers market. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Erica. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, great. I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us today about shopping. I don't usually shop at the farmers market, but probably because they usually have those events early on a Saturday morning, and I want to sleep in. So
No. And I'm definitely going to kind of go through some different ways to kind of get around that because I know Saturday mornings is like rough. Like no one wants to be out there. Hey, Gabby, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, you're being an extra super good mom? Okay.
That's great. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'll share these slides. And
yeah, that's great.
Are we all good? Can you see America?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So as always with all of our classes, we start off with a Justice for All poster. This is just basically stating that this is a non-discriminatory agency. We don't discriminate based on color, sex, origin, race, religion, or any other reasons. So getting into it. So today we're going to here's a little breakdown of our lesson. So our lesson is going to be all about shopping at a farmer's market. We have a little activity based on building your own meals. We have a recipe. We'll have time for questions. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment box chat and ask them while we're presenting. And then we do have a survey for everyone at the end if you don't mind filling that out. So this is one of our Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetables. So this is lesson number 12. And this curriculum was really designed to help support healthy living, help increase that promotion of fresh fruits and vegetables. So if you do want more information about the JSY curriculum, you can visit the jsyfruitveggies.org. There's a lot of really great resources there, as well as a ton of really nice recipes. And then you also, if you need help accessing food, please visit the PEPNJ website or Food Bank of South Jersey if you're closer down there. Gabby, I know I love farmers markets too, and there's such an underwhelming resource. I feel like a lot of people don't know about them or they don't know how to use them to the full extent, which is part of the reason why we're talking about them tonight. So like I said, this is shopping at a farmer's market, and this is lesson 12. Okay, so we're going to start with some icebreakers, just some questions. Who here has shopped at a farmer's market? Has anyone else? I know, Gabby, you said you love it, but anyone else on that has? Erica, are you trying to say something? You're muted if you are. It looks like your lips are moving.
I swear all day I did this.
It's happened.
All right. Yes. So mostly when I go to an event on a farm, it's probably when I'm gonna shop there.
Okay.
But I actually did have a great experience. I usually like to take the scenic route to work sometimes, and over there sometimes they have a farmer's stand, so I got the opportunity to stop there during the summer. Got like huge zucchinis and summer squashes, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so now is definitely the time for zucchinis and squashes. It's huge. Actually, at CFBNJ, we actually have a huge campaign going on right now called Squash It Up. Trying to really promote squashes and different types. I see Aisha, Miss Boyd they thinks the farmers markets are great. So what do we like about them? What do you like? What do you dislike? Why do you go? Let's hear about it. What do you guys think?
I would say I just like to go for the aesthetic. I think because it's just to kind of like see everything, and if there are animals around, you can hear the animals when you're outside. I think
Definitely there's a lot of really great resources. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of benefits to shopping at a farmer's market, all of which we're going to go through tonight. But yeah, we can definitely share some squash recipes. Erica, if I send them in an email to you, would you be able to share them out?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. So Gabby says she gets a lot of fresh fruits and veggies and a variety, which is definitely true. So there's a lot of really great benefits. So let's start with an introduction. So farmer's market, what do you think? Fresh fruits and vegetables. So I know it's been a little bit of a while since we've gone through this diagram, but this is the My Plate. This was designed by Michelle Obama about a little over a decade, about 12 years ago now. So quite some time. But it is a guide to healthy eating. So when you're putting your food on your plate, ideally this is how you want it to look. A lot of times people love to just put that protein in, it fills up like 75% of that plate. But realistically, we want that protein filling up a smaller percentage and getting more fruits and vegetables. And they do have a really great smell, that freshness, that air. Just being out in the environment is a really great experience. So love doing that. Totally agree. So those fruits and veggies realistically should take up half of that plate most of the time. I know people love to do it maybe like a quarter, maybe a small portion, but ideally this is how it should look like. So just as a reminder for adults, we want to be getting about 2.5 cups worth of vegetables and 2 cups of fruits every single day. So if you're having that measuring cup, just kind of measuring it out. Sometimes we don't want to do that. Sometimes that's a little bit tedious. So another way, and I'm kind of throwing it back to that portion sizes lesson that you all, or hopefully you all learned a few weeks ago, but about the size of your fist is about a cup. So if you have a cup of strawberries, kind of about the size of your fist, a little bit easier way to measure rather than bringing out that measuring cup and having it. Also, another way is when you have like different pieces of fruit. So like a banana, an apple, an orange, that would all be considered 1 cup or 1 serving. Now, the only one that's really different is your leafy greens. The reason for this is because they do take up so much space. If you were to take those greens and squish them down, then it would actually be about that 2 cups would be equivalent to 1 cup if you really squished it. So that's why you use 2 cups of leafy greens for 1 serving. But I see in the chat box, Boyd's been like, I've been adding beans to all your rices and getting the kids to eat them. That is amazing.
Yes. Woo!
Yay! No, beans are great. They're a good they're a great source of fiber. They're both proteins and a vegetable. So you're getting those servings of veggies in, even though it may not seem like you're having a vegetable. They're also super filling, and there's just so many different ways. I don't know about you, Erica, but I literally there's so many different types. You can make them in so many different ways. It's hard to get bored of beans.
Right. I agree. I just like to snack on them. I'll do like the garbanzo beans or chickpeas.
Ooh,
Is it
yes.
chickpeas? No. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do chickpeas.
Yeah.
Chickpeas are also really great. You kind of blend them up. You can make your own like hummus. And making hummus actually isn't that hard. There's a lot of different ways and a lot of different ingredients to add to make it a little different, kind of change it up. But it's a really great addition.
Yeah. I like those for a snack.
And then also with the weather changing, you're working on making soups. Yes, it's gotten chilly a little bit. So it's finally getting to that like soup weather. Oh, I love this.
Yeah, me too. I love soup.
I do.
My kids are like, they don't like soup if they're not sick. They're like, I don't want to eat it if I'm not sick. And I get so mad at them.
See,
Love
I'm
y'all.
like that with chicken noodle soup. Like the only time I'll eat chicken noodles if I'm sick, but like a good like broccoli cheddar or a like a
Ooh, they have like a butternut squash. Oh my God, those are my
yes,
favorite.
squash season. Yes, definitely love that. So gotta love soup, especially with this colder weather coming in. Just kind of drinking it out of a mug. And those squash and those different fruits and veggies that you have in there, and those beans definitely do count towards your servings of fruits and veggies. And this is just the general recommendation for adults. So farmers markets, kind of what we're here for today. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about finding farmers markets. So one thing that you can do, obviously, you can type in a Google search, farmers markets, and you'll get a whole list. You can go to your neighborhood's health center. They'll be able to give you a list. But I've also provided Erica a link of a farmers market locator that we use online that she's going to share out with all the participants for today. So this is great. It breaks it down by county, and it'll tell you what farmers markets are in each county. So I do have a couple examples here. So here is the link. So if you were to go click on the link, which Erica is going to share, it'll bring you to a map of New Jersey. So you can click on the county you want. So if you're in Bergen, Essex, here for just this example, we're using Mercer County. So you would just click on that county and you'll see a full list of different farmers markets that you would find in Mercer County. Now, some counties have more than others, but they'll all bring you up to a list like this. Now, all of these are going to be expandable. So when you went to go click on each of them, so say I wanted to pick that first one, which was 31 in Maine Farmers Market at Campus Town. So it'll tell you the address of it. It'll tell you the website. Now, I highly recommend Farmers Market has a website and they're keeping it updated to go on it. It'll typically have a list of vendors on there. So that way you can see what produce is going to be there. Sometimes farmers markets are so large that they have vendors on an A and B week. So they're there one week, but not there the next. So you can kind of get to see an idea of what they are. And a lot of times with COVID now, you can do pre-ordering for purchases on their websites. I know a lot with sometimes up in North Jersey, the farmers market I go to, I can pre-purchase everything. And that way I can just go and pick it up. If I'm feeling kind of lazy, I do love walking around. I think it's part of the environment. You got to try things eventually. But if you are just kind of short on time and you do want to just get in and get out, that's a great tool. But there's also usually a lot of great resources on their website. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Now, the next thing you'll see on this locator is the dates. So farmers market season isn't all year. A lot of farmers markets are only open during the summer, or they're only open for a short period of time just because they're outside. And fresh fruits and vegetables just aren't as readily available in New Jersey in November, December. So this particular farmers market just happens to be open from June 13th through October 24th. And this is open always on Mondays from 2 to 5 p.m. So there are farmers markets that are open other days besides Saturday mornings. So I know that's usually like the norm, but this market just happens to be a Monday. But I do always recommend trying to show up towards the earlier side of that market. So if it's from 2 to 5, I would like to get there by like 2:30-ish maybe.
Right.
Just because I feel like you get the best and the most options. Because if you get there at like 4:45, they're starting to close up. People have already been there most of the day, so they're kind of picking the stuff, the best stuff. So I do always recommend going and trying to get there as early as possible for whatever farmers markets are. Also, that gives you a chance to talk with the different farmers. So farmers and different vendors at these markets love asking questions or love answering questions for you. So if say a farmer has kale and you have no clue what to do with the kale, how to prepare it, how to store it, a lot of these vendors will be able to tell you different recipes. They'll be able to tell you different ways to store it. Like, did you know with kale, you actually have to kind of massage the kale a little bit, otherwise it becomes really bitter.
Oh, interesting.
So
I think that's probably why I never really eat kale, because I don't. Yeah.
It's different, but it's just kind of a fun fact that you may learn at a farmer's market, being able to talk to a farmer. But there's a lot of other ways, but the more you massage it, it sounds the less bitter that it gets, which is really nice and interesting. It's different. There's really not many other fruits and veggies like that. But I definitely agree, Gabby. I love kale in my smoothies. It's a really great way. It's also super light. There's not a bunch of flavor to it. So if you have kids, and you're trying to get them to have those fruits and veggies, it's a really easy way to get them to have those greens in the morning or whatever time you want to give them a smoothie. Right. I typically have them in the mornings, but it's a great way. Typically, I'll have it frozen. I just buy it pre-chopped, and then just throw it in my blender with the rest of my fruits and veggies, and it's a great way to get some more greens in every single morning.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm more of a spinach kind of girl. Okay. I'll put spinach in my smoothie.
They're both really good sources of vitamin K. They're really good sources of a lot of different vitamins and minerals. So spinach, kale, we both recommend them. They're both pretty have a light flavor, spinach especially so. So it's a really great way to basically get them into your kids' foods without them knowing, which is really nice and which always is really beneficial and can be sometimes a little hard.
Yeah.
So next up on there is the different payments methods exempted. So do they take credit cards? Do they take your WIC benefits? Do they take WIC cash? Do they take SNAP, which is formerly known as food stamps? And that SFMNP, that is the Seniors Farmers Market Nutrition Program. So that is a program designed for seniors, and there are additional bucks that they would get to spend at those farmers markets. Now, New Jersey is called the Garden State for a reason. We can produce so many different fruits and vegetables. And we have such a variety, which is part of the reason why we definitely recommend going to those local farmers markets, and you're going to get such a good variety. Now, again, always recommend going to that website, seeing if they have any social media. They'll typically post different deals. They'll post different information, hours, if something has changed. So say the weather is going to be crazy. Are they canceling the market? There also is a really great resource of contacting the different local community members. You can use it as a social gathering, being outside. I know, especially during COVID, you couldn't really get a lot of social interactions, but this is a great way to kind of get out and moving, but you're still being out in the community and you're still being safe. Now, so also with farmers markets, they're going to have the most fruits and vegetables that are going to be in season. So I have a little bit later on, I'm going to show you a little chart that we use, but the way that farmers markets and farmers stands will go is if you go in maybe May or June, they're going to have different produce than they will if you're going in October, because they go and they produce what's based in what season. So, which is really nice. And we always recommend you're getting a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. We always try to be like, oh, you don't want to just have this, this, and this. Or say your kids really like strawberries and spinach. We want to try and make sure you're having those, but also including some oranges, some reds, some greens, some blues, some purples, all of those different colors. And shopping at farmers markets is going to be a great way to do that, because you're constantly getting different produce in. So you're constantly having different colors. So it's a really great way to make sure you're getting that variety. And all of those produce are going to be grown locally in New Jersey. They're going to be fresh. And typically that is going to help with your cost. So when you go to a grocery store or supermarket, that grocery store acts as a middleman. So all your fruits and vegetables are going to start off at a farmer, producer, somewhere. Someone has to make them. Someone has to grow them. So from there, they'll package them, they'll do whatever they need to do. And then if they go to a grocery store, they can be a little bit of time between that farm and that grocery store. And then there's the time between the grocery store to you. So that grocery store really acts as the middleman. And whenever you add that middleman, you're adding another person. The grocery stores need to get paid as well. So you're typically going to see an increase in price when you go to a grocery store as opposed to with a farmer's market because you're cutting out that middleman. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Gisela.
Wow, did I say morning? Ooh, okay. Good evening.
You had a long day, just like me and that mute button.
I think I saw Morgan and it was like more, and then I was like morning. Yeah, no, it's been a long day, but that's okay. So yes, the farmers markets. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Farmers market does not have a lot of chemicals on it like the grocery stores. So you guys find that? I never really took a big notice to that, but it probably is a true thing.
I feel like it depends on which market you go to. Some markets do have a really higher percentage of different like organic produce. With the fruits, you'll typically see them a little bit fresher. You'll also see them fresher because that's their shorter waiting period. They're going from the farm to you. So they're not waiting. They're not going to go bad as quickly, which helps them store a little bit longer. So they don't need that much of a preservative as they would if you were going to the store. So it kind of depends which farmers market. I've been to some farmers markets where almost all they have is like organic, which is going to increase the price a little bit, but it's definitely worth it for certain fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. Okay. So, on the fruits. Yeah. You know what? I definitely feel like I taste it on the strawberries or like the grapes and stuff like that. Like you gotta like super wash your grapes.
Yeah, no. With strawberries, you actually really want to make sure you wash them. You actually want to kind of soak your strawberries, like put them in water and let them soak for a good like 5-10 minutes and really let all that gunk and all of those germs and bacteria and all that get it really soaked, come out of it, and then rinse them off again. So strawberries are actually part of like what the state calls the dirty 12. So they are dirtier than most of your other fruits.
Oh. Now you make me want to look up what are the dirty 12. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't. I might.
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to tell. I don't know if I should have said that. But they're all good. You just had to make sure you wash your fresh fruits and vegetables. And kind of going back to the food safety lesson that we learned, that Tori taught almost a couple months ago now, is even if you are not eating the outside, so say you're having a lemon, you still want to make sure you're rinsing it. You still want to make sure before you cut it, you are using a veggie brush or using your hands and scrubbing at it, because because it's on the outside, the minute you cut through that, you're introducing that germs and that dirt and that bacteria on the inside. So definitely recommend going and rinsing and washing it, even if you're not eating that skin in particular. So we've been talking a lot about fresh fruits and vegetables and in season. So here we have a chart, and I know it's a little difficult to see, but Erica, if you don't mind putting that in the comments and sharing that link, but this is a seasonality chart. So this is really nice. So this is based off of New Jersey weather. So it'll tell you what is in season during what months. So that way, you know, okay, it is September, apples are going to be in season. Cranberries are towards the end of September. They're going to be coming in season. Eggplants are a really great one right now. Those are in season. Squash, sweet potatoes. So this list is great. It'll tell you what fruits and vegetables are in season. And by buying in season, it really helps you get that variety. So that way you can make sure you're switching it up and you're getting all of those fruits and vegetables and all of those benefits, because no single fruit or vegetable is going to have every single vitamin or mineral. So this is a great chart. I have this on my fridge. I usually consult this when I'm planning it. So these are something that's really nice. Now, for instance, we were talking about kale earlier. Kale's in season now until the end of November. It's also in season from April to June. So kale has a pretty long season that it's going to be readily available. Also, asparagus is another one. Arugula is another one, not asparagus. Asparagus is pretty short. That's usually from like April to like June-ish.
Oh.
But this is a great resource. I love it. It's super easy. That is a PDF of it, but it's great. I usually have it printed out and on my fridge. So definitely something I would recommend consulting. So we're going to do a little activity. So I don't know if you guys, I'm going to try and if I can zoom in a little bit on this and see if I can see it. Eric, does that help you guys see it better or not really?
Not really. Let's.
Okay. We'll do this another way. So right now, one of the things that is in season is grapes, actually. So what are some fun recipes that you can make with grapes? Does anyone want to share something that they like or that they can make with grapes? Little different, little hard, tricky this one, because usually grapes are just usually eaten as a snack.
Yeah, like it's just wine.
You can do them in salads, you have grape kebabs, which are really good. I use them in chicken salad sandwiches a lot. So with the chicken, I find that it goes really well, which is a really nice addition. Something else that's in season right now.
Gabrielle said a grape kebab.
Yeah, grape kebab.
I like that.
Do like cute little fruit kebabs with grapes.
Yes.
Perfect season to visit a winery. Yes, it is. That's typically a big use for grapes.
Jelly. Not healthy.
Just a little bit of sugar in that.
Just a lot of sugar.
Yeah. So something else that is in season right now is cauliflower. So there's definitely something I love to do is I'm Italian, so I love my pizza. But one way I try to make it a little bit healthier is by making a cauliflower pizza crust. So instead of using a traditional dough, I make it out of cauliflower.
Oh, so can you share with us how you do that? Do you have to like grate it down or like make it into a?
Yes. So what I do is I will I'll pulverize it. So I'll cut it down really small. And then what we do also is, I have to think about this for a second. How do I usually do this? I usually add some like cheese, and then what you do is when you're taking that cauliflower, you have to really dry it really well, like to press out all the different moisture in it. That way you're getting it nice and flat. You add the cheese, I add different seasonings, and then I use egg as a binder, and then just kind of shape it out into the pizza crust. So it does take a little bit of a hang to try and get it the first couple times, but it really is really good, and it usually has a really good turnout that people really like. The only thing is I don't necessarily know if it's something that I would have like day after day. Like I feel like you eat it tonight. Right. Cauliflower doesn't always stay the best.
Hold up. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of cauliflower rice as well.
So that's kind of similar. You're just taking it, putting it in a food processor, and just kind of blending it together.
Okay.
So something else that's currently in season right now is cranberries. So coming up, we have cranberry season. So I love for Thanksgiving, love a good cranberry sauce. Also probably not the healthiest, but a great option. And then you have the traditional apples. Apples are in season for a pretty long time. They're in season from mid-July to mid-December. And there is so many different recipes that you can go for apples. Now, One suggestion though, if you are going to a farmer's market and you're getting apples, is you can't just put apples in your freezer. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I never really tried. Like not a fresh apple, no. Maybe
Yeah.
a cooked one.
Yeah, so in order for you to freeze your apples, they actually have to be they have to be cooked. So they can be baked, sauteed in a pie somehow. But they have to be cooked. You can't just throw them in the freezer. Otherwise, they will go bad.
Oh.
But
I just need to mush.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to taste too good. So definitely just like kind of, I know since they are coming up or they are in season, they are such a wide variety. There's so many things that you can do. So it's definitely a great option. And lastly, as I said before, squash, super great right now. So many different options to do with it. And there's so many different types of squash. So love a good butternut squash soup. Spaghetti squash. You can do, I know a big thing now is zoodles, like zucchini noodles. And one thing with this, a lot of people think you need some like big fancy tool to make them. I know I've seen on like KitchenAids that you have that spiralizer. You can actually do it with a vegetable peeler. You can just go around.
I was thinking the same thing too, because I saw them in the supermarket and I looked at the package and I was like, yeah, I'm not paying $5.
Yeah, you can just, what I do is I'll take a vegetable peeler and I'll just kind of peel it around, and that's how I make mine. And then I'll just cut it every so often, so that way I'm not having a 20-foot noodle. I have them like 12 inches or whatnot, but it's an easy way to get it, and it's super great. And yes, butternut squash is in season, so a lot of the different squashes are going to be in season.
Butternut squash soup is my fave.
Yes.
That is like my run to.
Yeah, and butternut squash.
I really want to be bad because that's got like a lot of kind of calories in it, right? Because made with heavy cream.
It does have some calories in it, but it's going to be like a healthier calories and a healthier breakdown. So it does have some fats in it, but it's going to be more of your unsaturated fats versus some of the unhealthier fats. So they're better calories for you. It's kind of like eating. It's kind of the same as eating 200 calories in broccoli versus 200 calories in candy. They're eating the same amount, but it's obviously better to eat it with the broccoli than the candy.
Or roasted. Yes. Oh, Gabrielle. Girl. Butternut squash does not sound appealing, but you'll try it.
It is so good.
No, it's so good. Like, I love it. I do that. Like my family makes butternut squash like with curry.
Ooh.
Or like we'll add like shrimp and like saute the shrimp in the curry and have like the butternut squash on the side. So good.
That sounds good.
Because you got the salty, spicy, and the sweet.
No, that sounds like a great option. So
new.
Well, it's part of learning. You learn about new foods. I mean, there's different. There were certain foods that I would have been like, even up into my 20s, I was like, I have no clue what that is, and now I love them. So, definitely all for trying new foods and whatnot.
So, all right. So what else do we have on this list that we can eat these days?
So
I just saw Swiss chard on there, and I'm like, that's all year round. What the heck? I didn't know that.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on, let me pull up that list. So Swiss,
and I'm gonna let me see. There's gotta be a way. Get this bigger. I'm like determined. Yeah, Swiss chard is awesome.
Another one that is really good that's unseasoned. So carrots are going to be a really long period. Collard greens are really long. They're in season for a very long time. And these are all fresh fruits and vegetables that are produced in New Jersey. So there are some on here that aren't listed, but that's because they can't be grown in New Jersey. And next week, actually, or not, I'm sorry, not next week. I think Tori is going to come on the 6th, I believe, or the 13th.
13th, yep.
So you're going to be learning all about storing these fresh fruits and vegetables. So how do you prep them to store them so that way when you accidentally buy too much, they don't go to waste. How to store them out on your fridge, your counter, because certain fruits and vegetables can't be stored in your refrigerator. Like tomatoes, for example, you want to keep them out on your counter in like a dark, cool place, because if you store them in the fridge, that skin is too gentle and it actually hurts the skin, so it goes bad quicker.
Oh, didn't know that, because I always do throw my tomatoes in the refrigerator.
Yeah, so for New Jersey, it's not recommended. Now, if you live somewhere like super hot in like Texas, then we do recommend putting them in the fridge, just because that heat is too much on it. But you're typically supposed to store tomatoes out on
fruit flies. Oh goodness, yeah, that fruit fly season is usually like August. I swear they come from everywhere.
You want to be careful. You don't want to keep them out too long. But yeah, there's some really great things. I know scallions, I cook with those a lot. Those are in season for a majority of the year.
Yeah, I love scallions because it gives I like onion, but sometimes you don't want it too oniony, so it's that mild, like mellow.
I can cut a scallion without me crying. If I try cutting an onion, I'm like bawling.
Yeah.
I'm the worst. It's so bad.
Yeah. No, onions are terrible. Like if you don't work with them every day, it's just you're going to be bawling.
I cook with them pretty often. I cook with them probably like 2-3 times a week, and I'm still bawling here. And I have to go back and forth.
You know what it is? Probably, do you store yours in the refrigerator and that's going into the storage again? So I probably should be.
It's all good. No, I store them out. So you're actually not supposed to store onions in the fridge. You're supposed to be out in like a dark, cool place.
Okay.
So I'm sure you'll learn this next week, but a little tidbit is you're actually not supposed to store your onions with anything else. You're supposed to keep your onions separated, because they release an ethylene gas that makes the rest of your fruits and vegetables ripen faster. So they go bad quicker. So you're supposed to store your onions on their own.
Got you. Unless you have those super green bananas.
Unless you have the super green bananas and you want them to ripen really fast. But yeah, it'll release an ethylene gas, which makes them go bad quicker, which we don't want. You want your fresh fruits and vegetables to last as long as possible.
No, that's pretty cool to hear the science behind it, because I never even thought of, the breakdown or just it being there that it really releases a gas. So that's interesting to hear the science behind it.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. Actually, when you get into the different studying behind some of these fruits and vegetables, like pineapples, for example, have a bromelain acid, which is actually used in a lot of different things for science. But if you heat it, it kills the enzymes. So there's a lot of different things that you can learn about fruits and vegetables.
So I found the the dirty foods, the 12 dirty foods.
Oh God, okay.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not responsible for this, Matt.
No. They said they have 15. They're saying there's 15 now. What are the clean 15 foods that you should buy? No. The dirty dozen 12 foods. They're talking about pesticides.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're talking about the apples. Apples, it looks like it's under there. Oh, strawberries, spinach, nectarines, strawberries. Okay, so strawberries, they found that 1/3 of all strawberry samples contained 10 or more pesticide residues. So we definitely want to make sure that we're and I OD on the strawberries during the summer.
No, they're
because
great.
In the back of your head you're thinking, oh, they're they're a good antioxidant. You hear all those benefits, but then this. America, we got to get our stuff together with this food stuff, because
we just gotta wash them. As long as you're rinsing them out properly, you're not gonna have any issues, and they're still gonna be great, and they're still gonna be just as nutritious, even if there's a little dirt on them. But they're still a great option. So we're also gonna go through some different reasons for farmers markets. So why are they beneficial? What they're good for? What pros do they have as opposed to going through a supermarket? Ooh, yes, I do love strawberries though. They're amazing.
I know. Yeah, we gotta wash those things.
Just so some other reasons to eat fruits and veggies. So you're obviously going to save money. So like I said, you're cutting out that middleman. So you're not going to be getting an upcharge that you would be facing if you were to go to a supermarket. You're going to typically get the best quality. So they are coming from the farmers to you. They're not sitting in that supermarket for a few days, or they're not taking a few days to transport them. So you're typically going to get the freshest, most ripe, most nutritious fruits and vegetables. So it's going to have the most quality. It's also better for the environment. So you're not like driving them. You're not taking these big tractor trailers to store to store to store and dropping them all off. So it's going to be better for the environment, produce less toxic gases. It's also better for local farmers. You're supporting them. You're keeping that money out of corporations' pockets. It's going to be better off for the local farmers to sustain healthy eating and fresh fruits and vegetables. It gives you a chance to be outside. I know a lot of farmers markets are outside, so you get that exercise, walking around, that fresh air. I know they smell good. And a lot of times when you go to farmers markets, it's not just fresh fruits and vegetables. Like I was at one the other day and I got a bunch of pickles. So they have like pickle vendors. They have, which I mean, pickles technically are a vegetable, but they have a lot of different vendors. I've seen like meats and steaks. I've seen different like dessert vendors. I've seen different craft vendors. So you can typically find a lot of different things at your farmers markets, depending on which one you go. And then lastly, it just helps you get a more variety, because if you're getting those different fresh fruits and vegetables, it'll give you those 5 daily servings that you really want. So just some last minute tips when it comes to shopping at a farmer's market. Come prepared, especially with New Jersey banning all plastic bags. Make sure you have bags. That way you can carry things. If you're just trying to carry everything in your arms, that can sometimes become a little tedious. So definitely make sure you're coming prepared with bags, kind of having an idea. So we always recommend having a grocery list whenever you are shopping. That way you know what you want to buy. That way you're not just buying a bunch of things. Because with farmers markets, it's so easy to be like, oh, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good. And then you buy it all. And then it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this now? And sometimes it ends up going to waste. So definitely come prepared. That's why it's great to see what vendors is there, because a lot of times vendors will specialize in maybe 1 or 2 things. So you know what is going to be there available that day. Time your visit. Like I said earlier, it's always better to go at the beginning of the farmer's market being open. So if they're open from 2 to 5, recommend definitely going earlier in that time frame than later. Definitely walk around. It's giving you great exercise, being out, being fresh, being out in the environment. But you can definitely see what they have available, ask questions. So farmers markets love answering questions. They can definitely provide you a lot of different information, more so than a grocery store employee. Because if you ask a grocery store employee, how do I cook this? They're probably not really going to know. And they're probably going to give that much effort to it. But the farmers, they really will. Because that's the livelihood of these products. And lastly, you can bring your EBT card, which is your SNAP benefits card. It's a really great way to use those benefits and really get to meet, introduce to new people, and really use those benefits wisely, getting the most nutrition from them. But they're great. They're super fun. I've never met a farmer who's been like, I won't talk about my product. So
yeah. I know that's their love, their craft. So I know that they're definitely willing to speak on it, right? And
then just lastly, we just have some last minute tips. I know COVID's kind of dialing down a little bit now, but this always is helpful. This is always beneficial. Making sure you're washing your hands frequently. Try and still keep some distance, maybe not 6 feet anymore, but make sure you are keeping your distance from people. If you are still wearing masks, make sure you're wearing masks. Make sure if you're sneezing or you're coughing, you're not coughing into your hands, or you're not just coughing out into the air. And then just make sure you're being careful with your phones. They do touch a lot of different dirt and debris and germs. So make sure you're disinfecting them and cleaning them regularly.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is our lesson for tonight. Does anyone have any questions? I know we've gone through kind of some during.
I'm still interested in the Dirty 12.
I would definitely do more research into it. But yeah, it's the Dirty 12 and Clean 15.
Okay. So I won't be so cynical, but I am going to go ahead and go through the whole list. So it was strawberries, spinach, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celeries, potatoes, and sweet bell peppers. That's the dirty dozen of the fruit list. And then the clean, I'm going to find that clean one. Do you know the clean?
I can probably look it up.
Yeah. Let's see what they say for the clean.
I have it up if you want it.
I see it. Yep, I see it. So it says an environmental working group released a clean list, and this is a list that has tested negative for pesticides. So these are all non-organic. So avocados, sweet corn, pineapple, onions, papaya, frozen sweet peas, eggplant, asparagus, cauliflower, broccoli, mushrooms, cabbage, honeydew melon, and kiwi. So those have been testing negative for pesticides, and they're non-organic. So that's pretty good to know. I would think that broccoli would saturate into broccoli, but I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where you look, that list is going to be different.
Really?
Because I've seen lists with sweet potatoes added to that list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you said that one.
As clean?
Yeah, as clean.
Oh, interesting.
Watermelon is typically another clean one, just because that shell, that skin is usually a bit thicker. Miss West is saying she's having chicken and waffles for dinner. Ooh, yum.
Oh, spinach too. Yes, child, spinach too. Yeah, we really have to be careful because we hear often that there's illnesses linked to the spinach. So a lot of times we have recalls and stuff like that.
Well, fun fact about food, you're more likely to get a foodborne illness from your produce than you are from any of your different meats, than your fishes, through any other foods. And that's because chicken, even if chicken has bacteria naturally all over it.
Right.
You're cooking that chicken, though. You're supposed to be cooking it to 165 degrees, so you're killing off of all that bacteria. If you cut that chicken and then you put asparagus on that same cutting board, you're not cooking your asparagus to 165 degrees to kill off all that bacteria. And that cross-contamination is typically how we get those foodborne illnesses. So definitely be careful with that. Definitely watch out for what you're eating. But just rinsing your fresh fruits and vegetables is the best thing that you can do. Simple, it's easy. One thing people did during COVID is they like to use bleach on their fruits and vegetables or soap. That is not recommended. Please do never, ever do that. Bleach is not meant for human consumption, and it can actually really harm you if you're not washing it off, because you're not going to be able to wash off bleach properly.
Yeah, that's going to definitely saturate the fruit.
Yeah,
depending on what it is. Yeah, because apples are very porous. That's why they float, right? So, okay, Miss Elise, with your chicken and waffles for dinner. Is that fried chicken? You better not be frying that chicken. It's good baked chicken. I'm gonna say it's baked chicken. and waffles for dinner.
Plus,
I've actually done that. Just like baked chicken breasts, like just as a meat, if you want a protein on the side or whatever. I've done that.
Okay.
It's still yummy.
Still have that. Still gives you a lot of different seasonings. You could always put syrup on top of it. Still,
yeah.
Not really the healthiest, but
not to drown it, because I know some people like to drown their food in syrup.
Yeah, so that definitely has a lot of added sugars that you want to be careful of. So the last thing that we have for you tonight is a recipe. So with it being like starting to become a little bit cooler out, when I was talking about soups, we have a pumpkin soup recipe for everyone for tonight, which sounds amazing. I haven't personally made this, but I've seen this video before, and every time I see it, I want to make it.
For sure. All right, let's see if we can get that video going. And there we go.
Temperatures are starting to drop all around the country, which means it's time for pumpkins. And today we're going to make a delicious pumpkin soup. I'm using canned pumpkin, which is super easy to use all year round. But when it's in season, you can also use fresh pumpkin from your local farm stand. Hi, I'm Chef Amy. Let's get started. I brought 3 cups of water to a boil, and now we're ready to go. Add in a quarter pound thinly sliced beef that's been cut into bite-sized pieces directly to the water, and let it boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now let's add in the pumpkin. Make sure you're using canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie fillings. There is a difference. And look for ones that contain no added salt. Next, mix in some maple syrup, a pinch of pepper, and a bit of cinnamon for extra flavor. Give it a stir, and then lower the heat to cook for about 10 minutes more. Now we're ready to serve our soup. We'll top it off with a little bit of diced raw onion. And there you have it, our creamy pumpkin soup. Pair it with a nice green salad and some hearty, whole-grain bread for a perfect autumn meal. For this recipe and more, visit USDA's What's Cooking website.
All right.
That sounded really good. I don't know why though. I was getting, if it was just me, but I was getting like an echo kind of with the video a little bit.
No. I'm sorry. Hopefully
everyone else didn't get that.
Yeah, hopefully, you know what we could do, because that is on YouTube. So, I mean, we can share the link. Sorry. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share the link in the chat so that y'all could just go ahead and view that when you can. I could share the link. I think he copied. And I'll just go ahead and put that in the chat so that y'all can access that without the feedback. It might have been because my phone was a little bit close to the screen. So, and that was pumpkin soup, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I never knew that the pumpkin came in a can unsweetened, pretty much.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was just only for pie.
No, you can definitely do that. It also, I've done like with pumpkin, that canned pumpkin, I've turned it into smoothies in the morning, which is a really great option, which tastes delicious. And pumpkin, what most people don't know, is actually a vegetable. So it has a lot of vitamin A, it has a lot of other nutrients, which is really good for you.
All right. Well, I thank you, Ashley, for all of the information that you shared tonight. We're definitely going to take some time to go to the farmer's market, probably be able to get those food items at a better price if we go there, right?
Definitely.
So I know where there's all the talk about we're in inflation and we're heading for a recession. So we definitely want to take advantage of these resources that we have here with the farmers markets as well.
Well, thank you again for having us. I hope everyone enjoyed. And we do have that one more lesson. Tori's going to be back on the 13th, which I know she's super excited about.
Yes, for sure. And before we go, I definitely wanted to take some time out to just make a couple of announcements of events that are coming up that with our partners that are national. And it is the Vital Village Leadership Summit. If you haven't, please just go take a look at the work that they're doing. There's going to be a summit that they're holding. It's going to be all virtual. I'm losing my stuff here. It's going to be all virtual. Just definitely, if you can, take a look on Vital Village's webpage. Check it out, sign up. We would love to engage with y'all there as well. We're gonna Parents Engaging Parents is definitely gonna be a part of that energy. We will be there, and I'm going to put that in the chat as well. So definitely take a look and see what Vital Village Summit is like. Actually, they're gonna be having a guest speaker, Tamika Mallory, who is of course, a part of the Black Lives Matter, one of the initial activists for the and organizers for the Black Lives Matter movement. So we definitely want to hear what she's got to share at that summit. I think that's an amazing opportunity to be able to hear what she has to say live. Also, this weekend we have the Clean Water Action. That is another part of our partners. They're going to be there. Thank you. Celebrating 50 years at the Autumn Toast to a Healthy Environment. It's going to be Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 4 at the Feldman Middleton Junior Community Center in Weequahic Park in Newark, New Jersey. Okay, so definitely come check us out. We'll be there as well. If you can make it, stop by, have a beer, have some wine, hang out with us, engage with us. And we appreciate you tuning into Parents Engaging Parents Beloved Community Check-In. My name is Erica Beverett again, and I hope that y'all have an awesome week. Have a great night, everyone.